What is up, you guys? It's your boy Matt from Spider Matt's Collectibles and Reviews. Please don't mind the backdrop right now. I'm actually in the process of moving. But today I'm coming to y'all with my very first YouTube video as well as my very first collectible review. Today I picked up this beauty of a figure, the Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse Miles Morales by S.H.Figuarts. My girlfriend actually got this for me as an early birthday present, so shout out to you. I really appreciate it, and this is definitely a beautiful piece. Of course, I have some nitpicks and some gripes, but they're pretty minor for the most part whenever it comes to this figure. So yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. We're gonna go ahead and look at the stand first, so that y'all can kind of see the stand that this general release comes with. It's beautiful, in my opinion anyways, but it's got the Spider-Man logo painted on. The paint that they use kind of raises up off the surface of the stand, so it kind of looks embossed, and it really, to me, looks really good. It looks super clean, especially with the Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse at the bottom. I think that looks amazing. Now for the box, we have Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse spot varnished on the front, as you can see, as well as a picture of Miles. Looks like it was directly taken from the movie. Looks amazing. We have Spider-Man, Miles Morales, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, S.H.Figuarts, spot varnished on the side, as well as a picture of the figure. Same thing on the other side. On the bottom of the box, we have an American release information sticker, as well as a picture of the unmasked head sculpt. We have a bunch of pictures of the figure on the back of the box, as well as all the information in Japanese, which I unfortunately cannot read yet. But yeah, so without further ado, let's actually take a look at the figure itself. So it's a pretty tall figure. I unfortunately have not unpacked my measuring tape just yet, so I can't give you an exact height, but he looks like he's probably about, Goku's what, 5.5 inches to the top of his forehead. So he looks like he's about 6.5 inches in height total, maybe 6.1. So it looks really good. It looks accurate to about how tall he should be in the film, I believe. I believe he's like 6 foot in the movie. We are gonna go ahead and get into the size comparisons really quickly. Now, unfortunately, I do only have one other S.H.Figuarts Spider-Man figure, with that being Tobey's Spider-Man. Now, it looks like in the camera, it looks like they're about the same height, but if you were here looking at them in person, you can tell, yeah, see, he's definitely just a little bit taller than Tobey here, which I honestly think works, because I think Tobey's like 5'8", 5'9", so I think it works. We'll go ahead and get some S.H.Figuarts Dragon Ball figures in there, just so that you can kind of see how he scales with other S.H.Figuarts figures. We got Trunks, which keep a review out for all these figures actually that I'm showing with the size comparisons. We also have Super Saiyan 1 Vegeta, who is significantly shorter than Miles here. As you can see, the top of Vegeta's forehead just barely passes up Miles's shoulders, which I think is hilarious. We also have Lloyd Forger, who is significantly taller than Miles. But honestly, I think it works because obviously they're not part of the same line, they're not part of the same series, so of course they're gonna have slightly different scales. It's just how Tamashii Nations kind of does things. But I have one last comparison that I want to make height-wise, and that is going to be between Miles and Harry Potter from the S.H.Figuarts Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone line. So we'll go ahead and get into articulation as well. He can look, when it comes to head articulation, he can look up about that far, so not super far up. He looks down very well, tucks his chin into his chest almost. You can just barely see that gap there, and it's just, yeah, very close to tucking his chin into his chest. Arm joints at the shoulders come up that far, so he can definitely hit the T-pose, and then hip joints come out that far, so he can do some pretty decent splits. Oh, actually, if we tuck that, if we kind of like rotate this, he actually does significantly better splits than I thought that he did. Oh, his legs are on a drop down method, so definitely do be careful with that because it's a pretty small ball joint in there. He has bicep swivel, pretty smooth bicep swivel. He's got a ball hinge there, so it can pivot. He's got really good butterfly joints. He can definitely cross his arms. Give himself a hug. Give whoever you want to. Give him a big old spider hug. With the ab crunch, he goes forward that far, goes back that far. Now, if you use the bottom waist joint, he goes back just a little bit further. We'll straighten that back out. So he's standing straight back up, and then as you can see, yeah, he pops apart pretty easily whenever bending him, especially whenever you're bending him forward at the waist. He does pop apart fairly easily, but with the waist and upper abdomen joint kind of both activated, you can see he leans forward about that much, kicks forward that much. Unfortunately, Tamashii Nations did sculpt the butt, so you can't really kick back much, but he kicks back a little bit. Like I said, kicks forward quite a bit. So, I mean, if you want to get him teep kicking someone, it'd be no problem at all. Kick him right in the chin. As you can see here, splits are really, really good. They're not, you know, too much of a problem. He's got beautiful double jointed knees, beautiful double jointed elbows, a ball hinge in each wrist, a ball hinge in the ankles, toe hinge as well, beautiful ankle rocker. Now, when it comes to the issues that I have for this figure, minor gripes really. It's just got to do with how fragile it feels in certain areas, but it's for them to keep the scale proper. I think that they did a really good job with the engineering of the figure itself. The only issues that I have is really within the red paints, right? Because the red paint doesn't stick perfectly in every area, so you can really see that seam right there. You get a black seam going right down the middle of the red paint, and to me that just kind of looks sloppy because this is a $95 figure in some places, right? Like, I know he retails for $90. I got him for $95. It was $105 after taxes. Like, it's quite a hefty price tag for issues as minuscule as this to be taking place. With that said, though, do I think it's worth it? I definitely do think it's worth it. If you can afford to get this figure, I definitely recommend getting this figure, especially if you're as big of a Spider-Man fan as I am. Spider-Man is my favorite superhero, so I mean, I saw this and I just knew that I had to have it. So we'll get him T-posing for just a second. I'm gonna go ahead and take everything out of the box, and then you can see everything that he comes with here. We have a pair of wide open, kind of surprised eyes. My guess is that this is for whenever Gwen tells him, hey, you know, kind of want to be with Hobie. Minor spoiler warning. We have two unmasked head sculpts. We have one long web. It's meant to be looking like he's swinging from it. We have one long thwipping web. Looks made to look like it's coming out of his wrist. We have one short thwipping web. We have two web grabbing hands, one for each side. We have two web thwippers. We have two kind of like what I call the perching hands. Spider-Man crouched down on a gargoyle and he's perching. I kind of call these the perching hands. Then we have some like kind of reaching, more like reaching hands. We have a tool for the back port for the stand. So this figure does have a port in its back right there. If you unpeg that, you can actually take the clip off of the stand and just plug it directly into his back. And as you can see, the figure comes in the box with some relaxed hands. Now, he doesn't have any fist hands, which kind of disappoints me a little bit because it's like, it's a Spider-Man figure. It should, in my opinion, have fist hands. Like, he fights a lot, so should definitely have fist hands. But I mean, I don't work for Tamashii Nations nor their legal department, so I have absolutely no clue what they were thinking there. But there's more than likely definitely a reason for that. Now, another one of the nitpicks that I have, it's funny because a lot of the nitpicks that I actually have with this figure are mainly, and I do say mainly, paint application issues. I don't know if you can see this, but the black paint on the back of Miles's unmasked head sculpt, it kind of fades, right? Like, it's supposed to be kind of gray right here so that it can be like he has a fade going on. You can really see like brown splotches in there, and it's like I just wish that they would have gone over that a little better. Both Unmasked head sculpts have the same paint quality control issue, which it's not that big of a nitpick, especially because I am a customizer, so I can paint that up myself and fix it myself. It's really not a big deal. But for it being a $100 figure, I really do think that Tamashii Nations could have and should have done better on it whenever it comes to such small, minuscule details being missed. But yeah, as for that, guys, that is the review. I definitely recommend going and getting this figure. Yeah, there's really nothing else that I can say. Go get this figure if you can. And yeah, thank you so much for watching the video. Thank you so much for being a part of the come up. This is Matt signing out. Y'all have a dope day, and yeah, stay blessed, stay elevated, stay lifted. You know how it is, man. Stay up and stay positive first and foremost. Really, like, never let anybody get you down. Don't let any negative energy, you know, outrule your positive energy. Y'all have a blessed day, and thank you for watching.